Past Wednesday at Turner Gym, Lynchburg College took on the visiting Bridgewater Eagles in a big ODAC game, 92-78 the final for Lynchburg. Tight one at the half. Bridgewater and Lynchburg were tangled in a 43-41 battle, but Nate Campbell caught fire in the second half. 20 points for the product, who transferred from Liberty University, and he's making Hilliary Scott a big time happy coach. Let's hear from Nate Campbell about the game against Bridgewater here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
I'll be honest with you. I love a mid-range jumper, so I'm in love with you right now. Talk about what you felt was going good for you in the second half.
I just feel like we picked it up because our defense is what really builds our offense, I feel like. I'm proud of how we picked it up. We brought up the energy, we brought up our defensive intensity, we brought up our offensive intensity, we started screening more. Everybody was just getting more in the flow, and I guess it was the energy that we brought in the second half that really got everything going.
Do you feel it was anything went wrong in the first half, or they just shot the ball really well?
They shot the ball really well, but we weren't playing how we know we should play, you know what I'm saying? It's like on the defensive rotations, we were slow. Coach always talks about know your personnel. We weren't closing out on the shooters. We were just late. We just felt like we were out of the game, and we just got that jump that started the second half, and it started everything.
You know, when you don't have a student crowd, it's kind of hard to feed off something because you don't have a lot of energy in the building. How important is it, not only for that game, you know, Saturday Guilford, you got a doubleheader with the men and women, but how important is it that you create your own energy as a team?
It's very important. You never know. You always have to create you can't rely on anybody else. It always has to be on the team. It always has to be on the personnel in the team to create the energy. So
I like to call you and Austin CNC, Campbell and Shalimi. I thought he had the defensive game working tonight too a lot. Who else besides Austin really popped out to you in your mind?
Manny did really well the first half. He was doing really well. I think Zay's a good leader on our team, point guard. He gets us in the defense. He's good. His pressure on everybody else is phenomenal. But I'm just proud of everybody. Our bench, too. Our bench is a big thing, too. When our bench is into it, it helps us with the energy as well. That's what's creating your own energy. The bench is a big aspect in that.
What does it say about this league when you got a team like Wesleyan who is, you know, just deadly tough? This team has 14 out of 15 freshmen and sophomores, and they gave you all you wanted for a lot of the game. What does it say about the ODAC?
The ODAC is a tough league. You never know when you're going to face adversity, and that's what we faced the first half. And then you just have to come out and change it up, bring energy. You have to just change up your game because you never know when you're going to face adversity.
Best of luck on Saturday, Nate.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Like I mentioned at halftime, it was a rough and tumble affair. I asked Hilliary Scott after the game, what'd you say to the team at halftime? He gave me his thoughts on that and more right here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
What did you say at halftime?
We had a few words. I just felt like we wasn't playing with a lot of energy, man. We just looked like we were flat, Bob. And I told him I just hate for the coaches to have more energy than these guys. And I'll pay anything to be playing again. And so I just felt like we didn't play as hard as we needed to play in the first half. Sometimes we were pressing a little bit, and they made some shots. They played well the first half. They really did. They moved the ball, and they had open opportunities. They knocked them down.
I thought y'all didn't really get a lot of rolls in the first half, too. Did you kind of preach, hey, our shots are going to fall type thing, and they're going to cool?
Well, I said to them we didn't play very well the first half, and we're only down 2. I felt like we were pretty lucky. They shot 56%. We shot 37%. And they out-rebounded us by 7 the first half. I felt like we didn't play very well and only be down 2. I thought we were pretty fortunate. And credit to our guys, really everybody, stepped up. Really, the energy. That's what it is. I mean, we're an energy team. We don't play with energy, we're not going to be very good. And we play with energy, we give ourselves a chance to win.
I thought the duo of CNC, Chalimi, and Campbell in the second half really played well.
They did. I mean, Nate made some shots, and maybe it was my fault the first half. We only got 2 shots for him. He's a guy we gotta get him. We gotta look for him. We gotta get him some shots, and same with Shields. We're lucky enough to have 2 guys we feel like are pretty good. Inside-out combo. We got to make sure they get some touches. They're unselfish guys, so if they're not open, they'll look for their teammates. So we got to play off of them, and they did a heck of a job second half. And really on both ends. Austin scored, but I don't know how many blocks. I haven't seen the final stat sheet, but he was very good on the defensive end.
I don't think Bridgewater is going to be an easy out for anybody. Talk about what you saw out of Coach Burgess' squad.
Coach Burgess, he's one of my dear friends, and I told our guys they are going to play hard. They're a young team. They're going to be scary. They're good now. They get Griffith back and healthy and making shots, and the kids are long, they're athletic, and they play hard. And so they're gonna beat. They already beat Guilford at Guilford this year. They're gonna be good. I think every team in this league is good. If you're not ready to play, you're gonna be beaten.
Final thing, you're not the oldest bunch of people either. You got 2 seniors and a lot of softs and juniors and a couple freshmen too. Do you feel that's a good thing? Because I look at it as you don't really know what to be afraid of in this league.
Yeah, I think it is. You always say that those young guys, the best thing about them is they get older at some point. It's good to look down and see that you got a team here for the next couple of years. Tucker and Nate are very good seniors. They do a lot for us. We're going to miss them. I don't want that time to come anytime soon, but I think we got some guys that are ready to step up and make some plays.
A lot of basketball left. I'm not trying to rush anybody out the door either.
I know.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
14 out of 15 players on the Bridgewater roster, freshmen and sophomores, including Ronnie Thomas, the sophomore out of Patrick Henry. He recorded a triple-double. Coach Don Burgess talked about Ronnie's effort as well as more to wrap up the Lynchburg College victory 92-78 over Bridgewater.
First half, I thought, went really great for you guys. Talk about what you saw in the first half.
First half, we made some shots and we did a nice job, on Nathan Campbell. Nathan Campbell's a Player of the Year type of candidate. I'm not sure how many. He didn't have that many points in the second half, but this is just a compliment to Coach Scott and his staff, and also in regards to Nathan, the type of player he is. That he just exploded in the second half for I think 20 of his 22 points, and it was in the second half. But in the first half we made some shots. Defensively, both teams was battling back and forth. So we did some nice things, and then their athleticism and their size and their experience just wore us down a little bit.
Do you feel that you're not as young as the roster shows at this point?
Actually, I still think that we're very young. Reason being, Cody Griffith had missed 6 games. Daniel McLean, our starting power forward, he's been out 4 games and will be out for the rest of the season. So it's one of those things that we're still trying to, with smoke and mirrors and also patchwork a couple things in regards to when Cody was coming back. So one of the things that's hurting us is in regards to consistently playing well and getting used to a consistent lineup. Now Cody's back into the mix, and now some other roles are changing, and it's great. Cody Griffith's out here, our leading scorer. All of a sudden, the guys are jumping out here, double teaming him and triple teaming him. But we hadn't seen that for the last 6 games. So it's one of those things. It's good that we've been getting battle tested, but some of our guys, they just had to consistently, play well. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, the ODAC basketball conference is the ACC of Division III. And in the ACC, unfortunately, there's a lot of teams that win with juniors and seniors. And right now, we're 1 senior and 13 freshmen and sophomores.
I thought Ronnie really stood out for you guys, too.
Ronnie played real well. He had, I believe, a triple-double unofficially. We haven't got the stats. But for him to play, Ronnie brings a lot of energy, emotion to the game. He's such an unselfish player. And he just plays hard. At 158 pounds, he plays hard. And he rubs off onto the other guys. And it's just one of those things, we can... Bridgewater College, I don't want to be greedy and say, hey, we got to consistently play well for 40 minutes.
Right.
But if we can consistently play well for 32 minutes, and like I said, our guys are playing hard, they're playing together, very unselfish, but we just aren't making the open college basketball shots that we need to make. And sometimes defensively, we miss a couple of defensive assignments when we're supposed to switch and so forth. And once we tighten that up, and these young freshmen turn to sophomores turn to juniors during the season, not waiting on academic years, so they got to do it fast. So come February, the freshmen are going to be sophomores, and sophomores are going to be juniors, and Cody will have to be a post-grad.
How do you feel in terms of confidence you guys are? Because people don't walk into Guilford and act like they own the place like the score shows you did.
Right. Well, our guys, they're a confident group. One thing, they're confident. They are down in regards to, morale is going to be down when you drop as many games as you have. But they're playing with confidence. But the other thing is, with the guys being so young, they almost don't know any better.
Right.
It's one of those things, unfortunately, they took it on the chin. But they're going to bounce back and be ready to play again. And we have short-term memory. Our guys have short-term memory. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, that short-term memory may come out in regards to when we're running the play, and they may forget it. but that unfortunately comes when you're 17, 18 years old and you're young and you're going up against grown men. And as our bodies mature and we get more confidence, I'm looking forward to coaching this team. And these guys continue working hard.
Just a couple more quick ones. Did they play too fat? Did they get you out of the style of play you wanted to play, meaning Lynchburg?
I don't think they got us out of our style of play, because we do want to get up and down the floor, and we feel like on 3-on-2, 2-on-1s that we want to get into that game and convert. But as you saw, we got to the rim a couple times and we just couldn't finish. And I think that with experience and as we get stronger, we'll be able to do that. And then we had some really great 3-on-2, 2-on-1s where we attacked and we skipped opposite and so forth, but we didn't knock down that shot. And I think once we get to knocking it down, and it's amazing when the basket opens up a little bit larger and wider, things change a little bit.
This may sound funny, but were you worried you shot the ball too well in the first half?
It's one of those things you do, get concerned about that. I was pleased that we shot the ball shot the ball well in the first half. And I was hoping, my staff and I was hoping that it would carry over to the second half. But it's one of those things against a team like Lynchburg College, even though they was preseason pick, number 8. Myself, I preseason picked on the top 5 because they are very talented. And Coach Scott does a great job over there. But it's one of those things, we'll take any make shots that we can in the ODAC. And it's one of those things that we was like, okay. Because our guys do shoot the ball well in practice. I was like, okay, now we're getting it.
Final thing, I'm not trying to bring up bad memories, but nightmares about Nate Campbell tonight.
Oh my goodness, nightmares about Nate Campbell is him just doing what Nate Campbell does in regards, and a lot of people may in the stands like, man, don't they know about Nate Campbell? I even called a timeout to remind him that, hey, here's a Player of the Year candidate, first team all conference. You can't give him any space, and somehow like on some switches we would lose him and he would still get his shot off, and those are things that you can't do, in regards to that there. But Nate Campbell, he's steady Freddy. He knocks down the open shot. He doesn't do anything out of the ordinary in regards to like crossover dribble between your legs and one. He takes what the defense gives you, and then he makes them pay.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
I appreciate it.
Both teams are back at it on Saturday. Lynchburg College will host Guilford, while Bridgewater travels down the road to take on Randolph-Macon. For the Sports Buffet Podcast, this is Bob Alvis.